students, welcome back. This is class 9 subject English. This is a revision lecture for two topics. The first topic of our revision would be chapter number 2 from Moment's book, The Adventures of Toto, and then next topic we have from grammar is determiners. Chapter, that is The Adventures of Toto, written by Ruskin Bond. Narrator's grandfather bought Toto, a little red monkey, from a Tonga driver to add to his collection of animals in his private zoo. As we all know that the narrator's grandfather was an animal lover. So he bought one monkey named Toto from a Tonga driver and added to his collection of animals. Grandmother was always averse means was always against in keeping pets at home. So she would be against keeping Toto too. So his presence was kept secret from her. Since grandmother was always averse to grandfather's collection of animals, he decided to keep the news about Toto hidden from her until she was in better mood. So the presence of Toto was kept hidden, was kept as a secret from her, as she did not like to keep pets at home. Toto was temporarily kept in a closet, means in a closet that opened into the narrator's bedroom. After a few hours of keeping Toto in the closet, when the narrator and the grandfather came to see Toto, that means initially he was kept in the closet, and when after few hours of keeping him in that same closet, when they came to see Toto, they were in for a shock. They were shocked. Why? Because Toto had torn the wallpaper, the peg with which Toto had been bound, that means the peg with which he was hanged, had been wrenched off the wall, had been snatched away from the wall. The narrator's school blazer had been torn into pieces that was hanging on the same peg. So the narrator and his grandfather were shocked to see that condition. Grandfather was quite happy at the monkey's adventures. So initially the narrator's grandfather was happy when he saw such nuisance created by Toto. After this, it was decided that Toto would be transferred to the cage where other animals such as a tortoise, a pair of rabbits, etc. lived amiably, lived togetherly, lived friendly, lovingly with each other. So it was decided that after some time Toto would be transferred to the same cage. But Toto would create trouble for all of them, as they saw the condition when they kept him in a closet for few hours. So they were worried that if Toto would be shifted to the cage, then he would disturb other animals too. Grandfather had to go to Saharanpur. Now after some days, what happened, that grandfather had to go to Saharanpur to collect his pension. He decided to take Toto along in a big canvas bag. Since there was no opening, so it was decided to take Toto along with him, as it was not safe to keep Toto alone with the family members. Since there was no opening in the bag to allow his hands or face to come out, he would often jump inside the bag, making the bag look like as if there was a spirit in it. As there was no opening in the canvas bag from which he could move his head or his fingers or his tail out, he kept on jumping inside the bag, which made others look like something spiritual is there inside the canvas bag. As soon as the train reached Saharanpur, Toto scared the ticket collector by popping his head out of the bag and grinning at him. Grinning means giving a foolish smile, a wicked smile. So the train reached Saharanpur and Toto immediately popped his head out, which scared the ticket collector. The ticket collector was annoyed at the discovery and asserted that the grandfather would have to pay for Toto's fare, as it was not allowed to carry such pets in public transport. the grandmother accepted Toto, he was shifted to stable where Nana, the family donkey, lived. Toto could not get along with Nana as well. So, when after few days the grandmother accepted Toto, and somehow it was decided to shift Toto to the stable where their family donkey lived. Toto could not get along, and Toto all disturbed Nana also and could not live friendly with him also. Toto loved to take bath in hot water in winter in the same manner as the narrator would do. So Toto loved to take bath in hot water, as he learned this habit from the narrator, as we all know that animals are good at imitating, and especially the monkeys. So Toto imitated the narrator and learned this habit of taking bath from the narrator only, and so he started loving to take bath in hot water, especially in winter. He would first check the hotness. He was very clever. He would first check the hotness of water before jumping into the hot water bowl. Once Toto had nearly boiled himself alive by entering into a kettle kept on stove for boiling water. Now once what happened, a kettle was kept on the stove for boiling water to prepare tea, and Toto had no idea that for what purpose the kettle had been put on the stove, and seeing the water boiling, seeing that the water is warm enough, he immediately jumped inside, and when he jumped inside the water started boiling, and with that the Toto was also boiling. So he nearly boiled himself that day, and suddenly grandmother came and took him out barely alive. Toto's nuisance was increasing by days. So as the days were passing by, Toto's notoriousness, irritating activities were increasing day by day. It was destroying everything it could lay hands on. He has become more notorious as nothing was said to him. He was not scolded any time, so he started destroying the things whatever he get in his hands. For a family of a middle class status, buying dishes every day can be a costly affair. So they were middle class family and they could not afford that one pet is breaking so many dishes every day. So it was decided, the family members were quite worried. Would eat off the same plate as them, as they were supposed to gather to take their meals. He would sit and would eat off from their plates, and when grandmother corrected him, he threw the plate on her face. So this was the kind of behavior he was adopting day by day. He would also throw glasses of water on the aunts when they tried to catch him. So this was the kind of notoriousness and the mischievous activities that were going on, or we should say that they were increasing day by day, and was also becoming unbearable for the family members to bear such pet in their house. So they finally decided that he was not meant to be kept at home. So it was finally decided that the Toto was not the sort of pet to be kept at home. Thus the grandfather sold Toto back to the Tonga driver for a sum of 3 rupees. Though he bought the same pet for 5 rupees, but they could not bear the mischievous activities of Toto, so they handed over to the same Tonga driver and for 3 rupees only. So this was about chapter number 2, the adventures of Toto, the mischievous activities of a pet named Toto. So chapter 2 has been done. Now moving on, our next topic is determiners and their types. Determiners. Determiners are words that introduce a noun and provide some information about it. That means they give some information to the noun but they do not describe it. Examples: the ball, his son, 5 cats, more cars. Different types of determiners: article determiners, then demonstrative, then possessive, then quantifiers, and then we have indefinite, which are divided in two parts, that is numbers and ordinals. The first type of determiners we have is article determiners, divided in two parts, definite and indefinite. Definite is the used before the names of rivers, mountain ranges, famous books, newspapers, magazines, superlative degrees. That refers to what? The definite thing. That's why the name has been given definite. Then we have indefinite articles, which are a and an. A is used before a consonant sound and an is used before a vowel sound. Indefinite articles are also used before a single countable noun when it is used for the first time. They are also used before the expression of price, speed, etc. The list where we are not supposed to use any article. First, uncountable and plural countable nouns when talking in general, like roses smell nice. Second, days, months and holidays. Then colors. Then with proper nouns we never use any article. Continents, countries and cities. Languages, streets, squares, bridges, parks, railway stations, airports, ports, sports and games. Before such things we never use any article. Of determiner we have is demonstrative determiners, which are actually demonstrative adjectives only, and they are the determiners which point out a thing, place or person. This, that, these, those. This for singular, for the nearest things. Then plural is these, used for plural things, far away, and that, this and these, used for nearer things, that and those, used for far away things. That for singular, those for plural. Similarly, this for singular, these for plural. Type we have is possessive determiners, which are possessive adjectives only, and they are also used before nouns to show the idea of possession, to show the ownership. I thought my wallet was lost. My. Her gym shoes are on the floor. Her. So whose gym shoes? Her gym shoes. Our vacation was fantastic. Our. The tiger licked its paw. Its. So they are possessive determiners. Numeral determiners, which are further classified into three types: definite, indefinite and distributive. Definite numeral determiners refer to a definite or exact number. They are divided in two parts, cardinal and ordinal. Cardinal, which are used before countable nouns. When numeral adjectives are there, then definitely we are going to talk about countable nouns only. The first part of numeral determiners is definite, which has further two parts, cardinal and ordinal. Cardinal used for numbers, ordinal used for series or for the positions, like first, fifth, tenth, etc. Definite numeral determiners. They are some, any, all, several, few, a few, the few, many. Now, if you remember, I told you one thing, that the basic difference between indefinite and quantifier, that is your quantitative determiners, is one thing only, that indefinite numerals are used before countable nouns and quantitative determiners are used before uncountable nouns. Now, some and any. Some represents what? Used for affirmative, and any is used for negative and interrogative. Then with some and any, if pronouns are made like somebody, something, someone, anything, anybody, anyone, then with same, no one, so they will be used in the same manner. Then all represents all of the members of that particular group. If used before countable nouns, then indefinite. If used before uncountable, then quantifier. Several represents what? Enough. Not so many, but there are numbers. That is several. Then few, a few and the few. Few represents negative sense, a few represents positive sense, and the few represents the whole, whatever the number is. Then last one is many. Many is used before indefinite number of a noun. That means, for example, he has many friends. So used before countable nouns. So indefinite numeral. Numeral determiner is distributive. Distributive determiners indicate one thing or person out of whole group or class. Each, every, neither, either, none. This magazine is published every week. Neither of us were on time. Neither represents negative sense, either positive sense. Each represents every member and every represents a series. Each of the children received a present. Either of the hotels will be fine. Type of determiners is quantitative determiners. Quantitative determiners: some, any, enough, several, little, a little, the little, much. So little, a little and the little, the difference is same as few, a few and the few. Little represents negative sense, a little represents positive sense, the little represents the whole, however the quantity is. Then some, again affirmative sense, any negative and interrogative, used before uncountable nouns, because here we are putting it under the category of quantifiers, that is quantitative. Then much denotes the quantity of a noun and is used before uncountable nouns. For example, there is much water in the jug. Then same as several and enough. So this was about the determiners, 5 types. Then each types with their uses, their segregations. Go through the uses thoroughly. Homework that you have to revise chapter number 2, The Adventures of Toto, and determiners thoroughly. After revising these topics, you will have one assignment, right? And you will be solving the assignment only after having a proper revision, a thorough revision of the topics. The content of the assignment will include this chapter number 2, The Adventures of Toto, poem 2 of Beehive, Wind, from grammar, determiners and report writing. So this was the revision lecture for 2 topics, and you will be solving the assignments that will be there on the EdQuark site. So go through the revision lecture, go through the uses of determiners thoroughly, and then solve the assignment properly. And you are going to solve the assignment in your English practice notebook, not in the English fair notebook.